Hello friends, this is Pastor Daniel Gouveia. Today I'm taking a look at a very beautiful Bible, a gorgeous Bible by Schuyler. It is the Schuyler Quentel RSV Revised Standard Version that just came out, again in the Quentel series. Now, what makes it so exciting is that it is a premium Bible of a translation that many times doesn't get a lot of attention in the premium Bible world, but also it features a little update to the Quentel series. The Quentel series has been around for quite some time. I have several reviews on my YouTube channel of Bibles by Schuyler in the Quentel series. In my personal opinion, these are some of the best Bibles that money can buy, some of the best premium Bibles in the market. I know there's others out there, but these are awesome and they keep getting better, honestly. So I chose the dark green goatskin leather cover. They do have at least two options with a full yapp. I did not go with those options, even though I am very interested in having a Schuyler with a full yapp, but I am anticipating that option in my next Schuyler. And I was curious about this green. This is my first green premium Bible. I looked at the pictures, but I know because of other Schuyler Bibles that I own, I know that sometimes the colors that you see in the pictures are not the colors in reality. And I have to say, I am very well impressed with this green. It is really dark, not too dark, but it is dark. It's almost like an army green, and I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So the Bible comes in this box. It is a clamshell box. Has the Schuyler logo in the front. You open it up like this. Very sturdy, very beautiful black boxes for a premium Bible. I love it. So as you can see here, I chose the option with the Apocryphal Deuterocanonical books. There you go. You can definitely buy this Bible without the Apocrypha. So you have several options. I'll leave a link down below so you can check out the options you have with this Bible. There's two options with the full yapp, which are red and black. The Bible comes wrapped in this white paper, as you saw in the unboxing part of the introduction. Okay, let's let the camera pick up the color better now. Okay. And I have to say that this Bible is just gorgeous, just beautiful. Starting with the grain, as you can see, has a pronounced grain. My main Bible is a Quentel, a Schuyler Quentel, New King James. And you can see here that the grain in this particular RSV is a little bit more pronounced than in my Schuyler New King James 28 GSM. I have a review of this Bible and I just love it, even though it had some issues that I was not very excited about, but I love this Bible. So you can see a very big difference between my NASB Quentel, also in 28 GSM. You see how this one, the grain is way more pronounced. This is an older Bible. I've had it for several years now. And you can see that there's variations in the natural grain goatskin. Just to give you an idea of the leather here in my copy. This is the New King James Quentel in 36 GSM. And again, this leather has a grain that is more pronounced. Then in the newer versions, here I have another New King James. Also with a beautiful grain. Just even though the grain is less pronounced or more fine, doesn't mean it's not beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. But just to give you an idea, this sits a little bit in between a grain that is less pronounced and more pronounced. This sits a little bit in between. That's my copy. I don't know if you buy one, if it will be exactly like this. Probably not, because there's a lot of variation in the leather. So it has the Jerusalem cross in the front cover, like many Scholars do. Not all, but many do. Most of them do. And you have 6 raised hubs. That's also something very common in Schuyler Bibles these days. You have the gold embossing on the spine, Holy Bible, Revised Standard Version, and the Schuyler logo and the word Schuyler here in the bottom. You have perimeter stitching, as you can see, very well done. And even though this is not a full yapp Bible, the yapp is generous and is very, very beautiful. I think it adds a touch of beauty and finesse to the Bible, and of course protection to the paper. Then you open it up and you do have a leather liner, dark brown leather liner, a gilt line, a gold gilt line around the perimeter. You see here the corner work that looks good. It is edge lined, and it does have red under gold for the gilding, okay? And it is not a very dark, very vivid, pronounced red, no, but it is also not very light. It sits in between the reds that I've seen under gold. But the gilding is really well done, as you can see. A lot of gold gilding in there, and very, very beautiful and well done. It is smite soon, of course, and as you can see, you have 3 ribbons, double satin ribbons. They are beautiful, go well with the green cover. You have a brown headband, you can see it there a little bit, and a brown tail band. There you go. And again, these beautiful green ribbons, double satin ribbons. These ribbons, to me, feel more smooth than the previous ribbons in my previous Bibles by Schuyler and my previous Quentels. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but they do feel a little bit smoother. So a diagonal cut here in the 3 of them, and these just look awesome. Okay, so you open the Bible and you have the presentation page in this thick paper here. This is a design that we're getting used to by Schuyler. I saw this first in my Schuyler Canterbury wide margin. Still have that beautiful red Bible. Just love that Bible. So beautiful. Marriages, births, deaths. Again, very thick paper. Adds stability to the Bible. All right, then after these initial pages of thick paper, you have a title page already in this awesome 28 GSM paper. Now, I have to say this paper is very, very resistant, even though it is very thin, but I can assure you, well, let me show you. I can assure you that this paper is very resistant, okay? My New King James here got snow, got rain on it, and it's still here. And of course, I mistreat it a lot. One day I'll record a video about all the abuse that I have put this Bible through, and how the paper is holding up. Okay, so definitely when you open up a Bible like this, you are almost like, whoa, my, is this paper going to just, you know, hold in my hands while I turn the pages? Well, let me tell you that yes, it will. Okay, even though, again, if you're like me and you like to underline and write in your Bible, believe me, in the beginning you will feel like, oh, am I going to ruin this paper? No, you're not. The paper is very resistant. Of course, most people, they don't do to their Bibles what I do to mine. But if you are one of those that likes to use the paper a lot and write in the paper, don't worry. This will handle well different kinds of abuse. So this is a second title page, Revised Standard Version, containing the Old and the New Testaments with the Apocryphal Deuterocanonical books. Schuyler Bibles logo, Quentel series, ba-da-dee-ba-da-da. All right, so here you have the information page, Revised Standard Version of the Bible. So it is printed and bound by Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands, and the paper is supplied by the Papeterie du Léman, Thonon-les-Bains, France. Yes, I lived in France for 4 years, so that's how I do that. And the typesetting is, of course, by 2K Denmark. Okay, table of contents. They have it all in one page, and it's very well done. Beautiful. You have here the Apocryphal and Deuterocanonical books at the end. So some Bibles have it in the middle because they were written between the canons. But this Bible has it at the end, and I actually like it very much because as a believer that has inherited much of Protestantism, I do hold the 66 books of the Protestant canon as inspired and not the Deuterocanonical books. However, I do love them a lot, and I think they are very important, that they have an amazing historical value. So I wanted to have a premium Bible with them, so this is why I chose this Bible. Then you have Preface to the Revised Standard Version. Very interesting to read. And then the books of the Bible in alphabetical order and abbreviations. Ta-da! The Old Testament title page. And boom. Haha! Look at this gorgeous text. Now, this is 10-point Milo font. The Quentel series normally has 11-point Milo font, but this is one of the features that has changed, and this is one of the first Bibles that Schuyler is putting out in the Quentel series with some slight differences. And of course, the one that stands out the most is the ornamental drop caps that you see here in dark red. Very dark red. You can almost call this a brown, but it's a burgundy or very dark red, okay? And it is a black letter Bible. Now, even though the text is slightly smaller, it is still very, very readable. I mean, this font is big. There's a ton of space between the lines. I find it equally easy to read, or even easier than the 11-point font. So actually, I can put it side by side here with the 11-point. This is the New American Standard Bible. This is the 11-point. This is the 10-point font. Let me try to do this better. So there you go. This is the 10-point Milo font in the new Quentel. And this is the 11-point Milo font in the older Quentel series. So, yeah, you tell me. I think this is very readable, and I'm very excited for what this means in terms of the future of Schuyler Bibles and the Quentel series or other series that are coming, the Strident. If you can have a font that is a little bit smaller, that means maybe you can have a smaller Bible, more portable Bible, but still highly readable. The font is bold, and that also helps in the readability, of course. I did find some inconsistency in the black. Not too much, not crazy, but a little bit, yes. I do believe I can see that. I guess you have that in every Bible, but I can remember that in terms of consistency of the print. My Schuyler Quentel CSB, I did sell that Bible, unfortunately, but that was the one that I found to be the most consistent of all the Schuyler's that I have. And just that font looked amazing. This looks very much like it. I just found a little bit more inconsistency in the black, to be entirely honest. And another of the features that stands out, and it's so beautiful and different from the rest of the Quentel series, or the previous Bibles in the Quentel series, I know the new ones are coming out like this, is this beautiful design here with these little leaves. It looks like a little olive branch on both sides of the chapter number. And I just think this is so gorgeous. I would fall in love for any Bible that would have this. I'm crazy, I know. But I think it just looks beautiful. So chapter numbers also in this dark red, like the ornamental drop caps. These are beautiful. Another feature, and that's the feature that I don't like so much, even though I'm imagining that most people watching this video will actually prefer that to what you had in the previous Bibles in the Quentel series by Schuyler, and that is that the verse numbers are no longer bold and they don't stand out too much. Now, I actually love when the verse numbers are bold and when they stand out. I have here the New King James, and this is actually the second batch that they put out of the New King James. I have the dark purple. I just love this Bible with the blue under silver, just gorgeous. And it still has these awesome bold verse numbers, and I really, really like that. However, in this new Quentel format, in the RSV, you have the verse numbers not standing out so much and not so bold, okay? And of course, the reason why the verse numbers don't stand out as much is not only because they're not bold, but because they are actually smaller than the ones in the previous editions of the Quentel. So that's pretty much the main differences that I see. All the rest is pretty much the same. It's a 2-column format. It is a paragraph format. It has the translation notes in the bottom of the outer column on each page, and then it has the cross references that are centered in the bottom. Oh, so beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous format. Now, another thing that I've noticed is that the margins are a little bit tiny. Now, I tend to be way more critical and demanding when I'm reviewing a Bible that I want to use as my main Bible, and my main translation is the New King James in English. So, see, I love the fact that the Schuyler Quentel New King James has larger margins, at least so far it had, and also more space in the gutter. I'm really, really a fan of Bibles that have good space in the gutter and a little bit of margin. So that's another feature that I wouldn't prefer if this would be my main Bible. But since it is a Bible that I'm going to use to read and to spend some good time with, but not as my main Bible, I'm actually okay with this, no problem. But yeah, know that it has a little bit less space in the margin than the regular Quentels, and I would say maybe a little bit less space in the gutter as well. Nothing that would affect your reading. On the contrary, the text doesn't go into the gutter, has good, very good space in the gutter, just a little bit less than, for instance, my Schuyler Quentel New King James here. Okay, I think you can see that. I'm not lying, okay? Telling you the truth here. So you continue. It is a black letter Bible. Here you go with the poetic sections. Let me show you a perspective a little bit more elevated. Wow, look at this. This is so gorgeous, so beautiful. This is really awesome. I mean, look at the little leaves there. They're so beautiful. Yeah, so you come to the transition. I just made a little crease here. Transition between the Old and the New Testament. You have the title page for the New Testament, and you have the Gospels. Now, this is a black letter text, and I love it. I wish I would have a New King James 28 GSM black letter text. I don't think they ever made those. If they did and I missed it, I'm not a good person. And you come to Revelation. So beautiful. Look at how it looks. It's just gorgeous. There's some details that I didn't mention, like the page numbers are above the inner column on each page, and they are also in dark red. Of course, the book title in each page also in red. And you have a little line here also in red separating the text and sometimes the notes from the cross references. Here you go, translation notes from the cross-references. The cross-references do have the verses that they refer to in red, so it's very easy to navigate. Very nice. And when you have the title of a book, you also have these two lines, one thicker and one that is thinner underneath, separating the title from the text. Okay, so you come to the end of Revelation 22, and you have the Apocryphal Deuterocanonical books, title page, and then table of contents. Here you go: Tobit, Judith, the Book of Esther, the Greek version containing the additional chapters, the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, or the Wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, Baruch, the letter of Jeremiah. Okay, you can pause and read it yourself if you would like to do that. Perhaps you know them by heart. Okay, here you go. So same format exactly as for the rest of the Bible. And then after you go through the Apocrypha, you have a concise glossary and concordance. I do believe, for what I read in the information page, this is drawn from the New Revised Standard Version. And this has 65 pages, even though they are counting the title page, okay, and this blank page. That's why you have 65. And what I really like about this glossary and concordance is that they also have these awesome little olive branches design thingy. Isn't this beautiful? Oh yeah. See, this is a dark green Bible. If those little leaves were dark green, whoa, that would be the next level. Okay, so C65, they actually have them counted like this, with a pagination starting at the beginning of the glossary and concordance. So that's how you can tell very easily that it's 65 pages minus the title page and the blank page behind the title page. Okay, Bible maps by Schuyler. Here you have them. There's 12 of them. And the paper of the Bible maps in this particular Quentel is a little bit thinner than the paper in the previous Bibles in the Quentel series by Schuyler. Now, I don't think that it is not resistant at all. It is feels very resistant, okay? Just not as thick. And again, not glossy, not shiny, which I love. Schuyler Bible maps are actually my favorite Bible maps. So, have 12 of them. Then the index to the maps. And after you get done with that, you have one page in slightly thicker paper. This is no longer the 28 GSM paper. This is thick paper, but not as thick as the 4 other sheets of paper that come after that, okay? And you have, I don't know, about 10 pages here to write some notes if you want. And then that's the end of this gorgeous, beautiful Bible by Schuyler, RSV Quentel. And I do not regret having bought this Bible at all. I think it's a gorgeous Bible. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, this is Pastor Daniel Gouveia with my YouTube channel, Crucified for Me. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Leave me a comment down below. And if you have any questions, let me know. And whatever Bible you read, dear friends, please remember that Jesus loves you, that Jesus was crucified for you, and He was crucified for me. So read your Bible with that assurance of God's love for you, and allow God's Word to transform your life. All right, bye. See you on my next video. Yes, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous, aren't you? Yeah. A green Bible, and I love it. I can't believe this. I love a green Bible. A green premium Bible.